Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started. Right now, all across the inland Northwest, we are tracking a winter weather advisory in effect until tomorrow afternoon. Let's kick things off by getting right to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo with what to expect for your morning commute. Jeremy?
Well, Mark, it's one of those ones where right now we're catching a break in the action, but that does not mean we're done with it. In fact, the winter weather advisory has been extended in both area and time, and we are looking at that lasting through tomorrow, and the biggest impacts are going to be on that morning commute. Widespread 1 to 3 inches of snow expected across much of the region, and we already got our first little round. That blanketed much of the Spokane metro, and as someone who was just out driving it, it's a little bit more slick than you want it to be. It was kind of a wetter, heavier snow that has now compacted, and as temperatures continue to drop, we are going to be watching a lot of that solidify. Another round works its way in here shortly, and we're going to watch waves of that come through overnight. It does look like some of the heaviest snow falls early tomorrow morning and then starts tapering off after the morning commute. We'll catch a few rounds by middle of the day, and then we dry out and should even see a little bit of sunshine tomorrow afternoon, believe it or not. But all said and done, we're looking at a decent amount of snow. Spokane, 2 to 3 inches over in Coeur d'Alene. I think if you're up in Deer Park, say Newport, Elk, that region, you're looking at about 2 to 4, and I think that carries into Sandpoint. 4 to 6 over Lookout, 1 to 2 across much of the Palouse. This is another decent blanket of snow, and then it's all about the temperatures once that moves out. Temperatures will climb up to near 40 degrees tomorrow afternoon, and that means a lot of melting, but look at that low Wednesday morning. Just 16 degrees means that most of what melts winds up refreezing. We'd like to see a little bit of patchy fog, catch a break, then Thursday we're back at it with another round of widespread accumulating snow for much of the inland Northwest.
All right, sounds good, Jeremy. We'll check back in with you later in the broadcast. Happening tomorrow, nightly lane closures will start in Spokane and Spokane Valley starting tomorrow at 7 p.m. until 1:30 in the morning. Crews will be closing the left lane of eastbound I-90 from Hamilton to Barker to start sweeping operations. And once they finish, crews will start sweeping that same length of road in the westbound lane. Crews will then repeat the process in the right and shoulder lanes. These closures are expected to last until the morning of March 4th. Further east, in an effort to educate and stop aggressive driving around the Gem State, Idaho's Office of Highway Safety will be taking to the roads for the next 2 weeks. Early data from the Idaho Transportation Department shows there were more than 14,000 aggressive driving crashes in 2022. OHS is partnering with police departments across the state to target violations like speeding, tailgating, weaving in and out of traffic, and failing to stop at lights or at stop signs. In other news this evening, the 2 men accused of killing a man and leaving his body in Elk faced a judge for the first time today. Jason Jones and Chandler Andrews are charged with second-degree murder. Jason Jones and the man living at his house, Andrews, well, they're accused of killing a man again. It happened last week. According to the affidavit, Andrews claims the victim swung a metal pipe at him and at Jones, and the victim allegedly raised the metal bar a second time, and this time Andrews claims they both shot at the victim. Well, a neighbor said she was surprised to see SWAT teams then surrounding his home.
I heard them say, "You need to come out. We do not want to harm you. We have a warrant to search the house." And I thought, whose house? So I come out to look, and it's down there.
Court documents show the two confessed to the crime to the victim's girlfriend, and told her they left his body up north. She called police and they found the victim's body. After finding the body, officers went back to the suspect's East Garland home. There, SWAT and other law enforcement engaged in an hours-long standoff. Andrews eventually came out of the house, and Jones was arrested near the Northtown Mall. Now to our night beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. Crews say they expect to contain the source of an oil leak in Lake Coeur d'Alene by this summer. Our news partners at the Coeur d'Alene Press report that a bulldozer fell into the lake all the way back in the 90s and has been leaking oil ever since. Right now they are building a 40 by 40 foot containment line called a hood. It'll be used to cover the dozer and keep that oil from going further into the lake. And a pandemic-era boost to SNAP benefits is coming to an end later this week in dozens of states, including here in Washington. For nearly 3 years, the emergency allotment has provided those households with at least an extra $95 per month for food. Well, starting Wednesday, families who qualify for government assistance will return to receiving pre-pandemic amounts. In states that have already stopped the allotments, anti-hunger advocates say there has been a noticeable increase in hardship with families that are food insecure. And happening tomorrow, President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan goes before the U.S. Supreme Court. Millions of borrowers could see up to $20,000 of their debt canceled, depending on the outcome of the hearing. How and when the justices rule will also determine when payments on federal student loans will resume after a pandemic-related pause that has been in place for nearly 3 years. The Biden administration has said that payments will resume 60 days after litigation over the forgiveness program is resolved, or at the end of August, whichever comes first. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word night to 509-448-2000 and we'll send them directly to your phone.
What the president wants is facts. He wants the whole government designed to go get those facts. And that's what we're doing. And we're just not there yet.
The theory that the COVID-19 outbreak began with a laboratory leak in China is back in the headlines now. Two sources familiar with the U.S. government's COVID-19 origins investigation tell CBS News there is new classified reporting from the Department of Energy that supports the lab leak theory. The sources confirm the Energy Department is making this assessment with low confidence in the finding, but an earlier analysis from the department also pointed to an accidental lab leak in Wuhan, China. This as some GOP lawmakers have been vocal about the lab leak theory.
We were completely shut down, called conspiracy theorists, and had our reputations tacked and savaged. There is an intense desire on the part of Republicans here on Capitol Hill, and I hope my Democrats will join us, to get to the bottom of this.
Today, China's foreign ministry spokeswoman responded to the news, saying the relevant party should stop vilifying China. The World Health Organization said last summer a deeper probe is required into whether a lab accident is to blame. Well, Sandy Williams will forever be remembered as a pioneer and the voice for so many people here in the Inland Northwest.
I knew everything that Sandy did, but I didn't. I think I said at one of the services, I'm very aware of what she accomplished, but I wasn't as aware of all the people's lives that she touched.
Tomorrow, we are taking a look back at Sandy's life and legacy that she left behind. Join us on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. for Sandy's Story, celebrating a civil rights activist. We'll have that story again coming up tomorrow. In other top headlines this evening, the Cooney County Sheriff's Office is looking for Hayden residents who could be victims of car burglaries. Deputies arrested 2 teenagers yesterday for burglary and for theft. One teen was found with a stolen revolver. Officers believe there are at least 20 burglary victims. The Sheriff's Office is asking anyone who believes they are a victim to please contact them. Meanwhile, a Priest River man who was sentenced to 10 years in prison in connection to a half-dozen wildfires set in western Bonner County last summer. That's according to our news partners, the Coeur d'Alene Press. Ryan Green pleaded guilty to 6 counts of third-degree felony arson. According to court documents, Green admitted to setting 5 or 6 fires in the Priest River area last summer, as well as 3 in 2021 in that same area. When asked why he started the fires, Green said he wanted to create work for local fire agencies and had always wanted to be a firefighter, but his criminal record made that impossible. North Idaho College President Nick Swain revealed in court documents that one of the trustees showed intent to remove him months before the board placed him on leave. Our news partners again at the Coeur d'Alene Press report that Swain showed an email that reportedly said, quote, "Just wait, you only have 52 days left," unquote. Swain said he took the email as a threat, meaning they would make sure that soon he would be gone.